Welcome my dear student in this new video, and in this video we discuss about the topic of re-entered function. Now here we discuss the re-enter function. The re-enter function is always used for the different data types and for the different functions that we have to discuss here. And we can discuss that particular topic in this video. So in this re-entered function we have to discuss the following points. The re-entrant function is a function which can be called by the multiple process concurrently. Is called as a re-entered function. Such a function, any such function which can be called by the other processor threads ISR recurrently are re-entered functions. Suppose a function is executing with a shared value. If further call is made to this function, the context switch it to the new instant. The new instant changes the shared data. After finishing the execution, the control returns to previous instant, and the shared data is changed and unpredicted. The result are generated. Declaring the re-entered function a compiler independent like this way. The integer multiple character, integer I, integer b, re-entered, integer x is equals to label I return to x into b. The criteria for a function to become a re-entered function is the function should not operate on a static data over a successive call or return pointer to a static data. All shared data is operated automatically, and a re-enter function calls the re-enter function only. The re-enter function accesses the hardware into automatic was. The dynamic memory allocation. Next topic is the dynamic memory allocation. In the dynamic memory allocation, the data variable which are needed for execution are of a fixed data type, that is static, auto, or the global and the constant. These data variables may be fixed with length and variable in length. The fixed length variables can be allocated the memory as well as before execution. This is also called as the static memory allocation. The allocating memory are at runtime. It is called as the dynamic memory allocation. It is managed by the memory management unit. It manages allocation and the deallocation of the memory. The memory is allocated dynamically as a stack or a heap. The comparison, the stack and heap memory. The stack and heap memory, in that it uses the stack only when the size of a data. We can compare the stack memory and heap memory. In the stack one, we can it use the stack only when the size of a data it to be used is known before compile time and it not big. It use the heap if the size of a data to be used is not known till the execution start or it too big. Next one is the order of adding and removing the data from stack is fixed, whereas in the heap the order of adding and removing data is not fixed. In a stack, every thread has its own stack. In heap, all the threads share the common heap. In particular syntax part, you find that there is a void. If true, integer x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1. Integer x, void of b, that is if condition is true, x is equal to mod of size of 0 integer, that is x is equal to 1. In the stack is created by RAM, whereas heap is also created by RAM. In the stack, the variables created on the stack will go out of scope and deallocated automatically, whereas in a heap, the variables on the heap must be destroyed manually and never fall. Never fall out of the scope. The memory allocation is much faster than heap. Memory allocation such as slower than heap. Slower than stack. Implemented only with an actual stack data structure. It can be implemented data structure such as a linked list. Store the local data, return address and use for the parameter passing. Store the block of data for use by the program. The suffers overflow when too much of the stack is used and mostly from infinite recursion. Suffers fragmentation when there are a lot of allocations and deallocations. In stack data can be used without pointer, whereas the heap data must be pointed by the pointer. So this is all about the comparison between stacks and heap memory. Thank you very much.